Hello students, welcome to my channel English with Terry. My name is Terry. In today's video, I want to talk about a very specific topic because it was my student from Russia, Gulnar, who asked me how do I overcome or how do I handle frustration when learning English or when learning a language. Now, I am a teacher, of course, but I am also a linguist. I can speak French, Spanish, Portuguese, and Italian. And I have learned other languages and have spent many years learning languages, and I have been frustrated many times as well. And in this video, I want to talk about what frustrated me and what I think are possible solutions to that. Okay? Let's go. What is frustration with language learning? First, it's normal. It's totally normal. In fact, for me, it's always good news when a student asks me about frustration. I am always happy when I hear students talking about frustration. Why? The presence of frustration for me means you are making a big effort. You have ambition and you are really trying. I get worried when I see a student who is too relaxed. But we also need to be careful if we feel we are perfectionists. And I think trying to speak perfectly or when we want to speak perfectly is a big obstacle to our fluency success in any language, not just when you are learning English or when I am learning new languages like French. We all want to speak perfectly and super well and zero mistakes in your pronunciation, but it's not always possible. It's just not possible. Even people, maybe you have a very high level of English, I have a very high level of Spanish and Portuguese, but I still little mistakes and it's okay. You just have to accept this, that if you feel you are a perfectionist and you want to speak perfectly, learn to accept that you don't need to be perfect, that your pronunciation, your speaking doesn't need to be perfect. Learn to be patient with yourself and the situation. Even when you have had problems with a small silly thing, and I know it's annoying. For example, I remember living in Brazil, I thought, oh, I can speak almost perfectly, and then I make a mistake or pronounce something really wrong and someone corrects you. Yeah, it's annoying, but if you just take that need to speak perfectly and just let it go, just let it go. It's the best advice I can give you. One of the really hard lessons for me to learn was this, it's important to understand that perfect speaking and perfect grammar really is not the focus. Communication is the focus. Can I understand? Can people understand me? Think of it like a game of tennis where you are saying something and the other person is saying something. And it's like the ball in tennis, that if you can hit the ball and communicate your idea, it's okay. And then if the other person can speak to you and you can understand, maybe you can't understand perfectly, but it's okay. This was a hard lesson for me and it took me a long time to let it go. Now, speaking realistically, well, perfect English, I'm saying, is not necessary. Yes, you can reach a very high level and you can feel frustration if you want and expect perfect grammar. And I know it's a little bit annoying when you're making small mistakes and you just want to speak perfectly, but it's learning to relax, let go of the need to be perfect, and focus on communication. When I was starting to speak Spanish and Portuguese, I didn't care about my grammar. I didn't care about my pronunciation. I only wanted the other person to understand. That's the really important thing, in my opinion. Another thing that can be very frustrating is frustration with slow progress. This is a curious phenomenon. Something happens that when we start learning a language, when you are beginner or elementary or intermediate, usually you're learning really quickly, making quick progress. Like for me, when I start with a new language, it's the most fun because you are learning quickly, you feel a sensation of progress and achievement. But when you are more advanced, when you are the upper intermediate advanced, the progress is much slower now. The progress is not so clear. It is happening. Yes, it is happening, but you feel the progress much more slower. And this is the moment it can feel like a hamster wheel. It can feel like you're going round and round. But I'm speaking, like for me, I remember living in Barcelona feeling I'm speaking every day and I'm improving, but I feel like I am not improving at all. And you are, it's just much slower when your level is higher. And people call this the intermediate plateau. A plateau is a piece of land or ground which is very flat. And if we can understand our progress like a chart, like it's the progress is going up and up and up, that when you become more advanced, it just becomes like this, and it doesn't feel it. And you can spend weeks and weeks reading, speaking, practicing, and you don't feel like you have improved. But a curious thing happens. When you are in this state of when you are practicing, you don't feel you have improved, you will improve in little jumps. You will see a little jump in your progress. One day you will wake up and you will feel that pronunciation that was difficult before, or that little piece of grammar, or that little phrase or structure or difficult conditional, and suddenly it's coming. And it's a very weird, very curious phenomena, because I remember it happened to me in Spain, where I was studying in university. I thought, wow, like my Spanish is getting better and better, or I thought, wow, like my Spanish is not improving at all. And it's that one day you just wake up and it is a little jump, okay? It can be a little frustrating to wait for these moments, but it is worth it. Continue. It is worth it. This is accepting the nature of learning a language, and in fact, learning many things. Accepting that later, when you are more advanced, your progress will be slower, but you will feel little jumps in your ability, right? And if you are already intermediate or have a good level, are you having enough fun? Are you studying all the time? Make sure you're combining English with your hobbies, your interests, and your passions. It's great to watch a YouTube video about grammar and about this, or to read a grammar book, but spend more time combining English with your hobbies and your interests and your passions. This is one of the big things with people who feel frustrated, because every contact they have with English is a study book or grammar book, and it feels hard. Have more fun. Accept that learning is slower when you are more advanced, and make sure you are having enough fun. Me personally, when I'm learning a new language, the first thing I do is take one of my interests and I find a video in that language. I was learning Dutch, the language from the Netherlands, like 3 weeks ago, and I really enjoy the mixed martial arts fighters. So the first thing I did to learn Dutch was find an interview with one of the fighters, something I'm interested in. The language I'm learning combined with my interests, it's fun, it's easier, doesn't feel so frustrating. Frustration at not enough time to study. Now I'm 34, but when I was younger, 21, 22, I was very obsessed. I had this polyglot dream. I wanted to travel different countries, I wanted to speak different languages, and I was obsessed with studying and learning as quickly as possible. And I hope you were like this with English. But one of my big frustrations was not enough time to study. Why? Because I had so many responsibilities. I had work, I had school, university, I had family, I had so many different things. And my big frustration was I didn't have all the time I wanted to spend working on my languages and practicing my languages, because I was busy working in a restaurant, or I was studying university, or whatever. Now, obviously, the best thing to do to learn a language or to learn English is to go and live in an English-speaking country. But this isn't always an option for people. And for me, definitely, sometimes in my life, like living in Ireland, I didn't have the money or the resources to go and live in Brazil or Spain or Italy and practice my languages. I really needed to create immersion at home where I was. I had no choice. So with work, study, traveling to work, or other responsibilities, friends, children, it can be very hard to find the time to really progress in your fluency. So in order to become really fluent in a language, any language, you need to maximize your language input. Now, in a very simple way, you need to do listening training. Listen to something in English every single day. This is why babies learn language so well. They spend 2-3 years just listening, imitating it there. And this is exactly the same for you. If you want to be fluent in English or French or Spanish or any other language, you need to practice your listening constantly every single day. Not a joke, no exceptions. This is really the best way, training your listening with something you really love. But I have more videos coming about this. When I was living in Dublin, the capital of Ireland, and I was studying and working, I remember it was really frustrating thinking about my routine. Thinking about, okay, I have classes at university, I have to work in the restaurant weekends or nights, and then I need to meet someone or I have to go do my shopping when I'm walking to work. And I was thinking like, but I don't have any time to do my listening. When can I do my language study? Like, I don't have any time at all. I remember calculating about, wow, like I only have maximum 1 or 2 hours a day, because I was trying to learn 3 or 4 languages and I wanted to be fluent in all of them. I remember thinking, like, I want to be fluent, really fluent. My response was to become very, very organized. Very organized. And this is my suggestion to you too, that if you're feeling frustrated because you don't have time to study, get organized. I found MP3 audio or YouTube videos that I was able to download, put on my phone or on my MP3 player. I always tried to find something that was really interesting to me, but I listened to the audios, the MP3. For example, I had Game of Thrones, the French version in MP3 on my phone, and I still have it on my phone actually. But I listened to the audios at every possible opportunity in my day. If I was at the supermarket, I was listening to Game of Thrones in French. If I was cooking, I was listening to Italian, whatever, some audio. If I was cleaning, exercising, before going to sleep, I remember for 5 months, every night before going to sleep, I listened to 1 episode of Game of Thrones in French. It was easy. It didn't feel like work. It was great. I can still remember some of the lines today. But if you're feeling frustrated because you don't have time, get organized. The essential part is just to get organized and to plan your listening. Find what you want to listen to and put it on your phone. We can feel frustrated when we don't have much time, or maybe we don't have a home environment to study in a normal way. Maybe you have a lot of people at home. So it's all about integrating English into your life. And it's normal to feel frustrated, but don't let your frustration separate you from the present moment. That maybe you're feeling frustrated with your English, but now in your listening training, still focus on the present moment and pay attention in that moment. Give the listening that 100% of your attention in that moment. Sometimes with our languages, we're so focused on the future because maybe in your case, English is connected to your professional life and your professional credibility. And sometimes we're so focused on the future that what we want is that we need to focus clearly on the moment now and do your listening training now. And I know myself from my own personal experience of wanting to try to learn things as quickly as possible. We can only learn one thing at a time, and learning is a step-by-step process. Be careful not to let that frustration stop you from focusing completely in the moment on what you're learning now. If you take something that is really interesting to you, let's say you really enjoy sport and you're watching an interview with your favorite sports person, tennis player, football player, whatever. Even maybe you are making this effort to learn, but you're still feeling the frustration. Don't let the frustration separate you from that moment, what you're learning now. Take time to look at your accent or pronunciation and focus and master them, or a new expression, okay? I know myself. I mean, I'm making this video and I made so many mistakes. So if you are feeling frustrated or feeling you are making a lot of mistakes, don't feel bad. It's just part of the process. And I am guilty myself of feeling frustrated for no good reason, because my progress is not fast. It's not immediate, But then in that moment of frustration, I realize I'm losing the opportunity to focus on that one thing I can do better. Learning a language or English is just one step at a time. And maybe you feel frustrated, but that still means you need to take time to really master one video or master your accent. One step at a time. Okay guys, so tell me in the comments, what is your biggest frustration with English? What frustrates you? I would love to know, because I would love to do a part 2 of this video if you guys write enough comments or you have any questions, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. Please take a moment to subscribe if you enjoy this video or enjoy this channel. I'm making new videos about pronunciation, fluency, grammar, everything. Okay, so please click like, share with your friends, subscribe, and all that. Please help me grow on YouTube, and I'll see you guys in the next video.